Hey guys, welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be talking about my experience working for the beauty community or the beauty industry. The reason why I wanted to bring this video is because I have made this video already in Spanish and you had so much positivity, so many good responses about it, and it was very positive about it. And I've come to terms with myself where I just want to be honest about it and be realistic about what your expectations could be when you want to work for a beauty department or a beauty counter or a beauty company. Like you guys know, my previous experience. Well, I'm gonna bring it more into the background history, so I just don't want to make it in a long video. I hope you guys don't mind it. So my name for all of you, it's Felipe. You guys can always find me on Instagram under the name of Art of the Spirit, and you all feel welcome to. If you feel welcome, make sure you do it. Subscribe to the channel and also click on the notification button. That way we can stay in contact. So they usually call me Phil. At least that's how I get along over here in this state. The reason why is because they seem to have a hard time pronouncing my name, which is Felipe. It doesn't have anything different. It's just Felipe. So, but you can always feel welcome to call me Phil. I don't mind it at all. The reason why I wanted to do this video is because I have seen a lot of you guys talk to me about how did you get a job for a beauty company or and all this stuff. And you know what? I just want to be real honest about the whole thing, about the whole situation. I started when I was 5 years old, working in this beauty industry. My mom used to sell something called Jafra. It's a brand that's still located in Malibu, California, and this is a little bit more of a background for me. I remember my mom used to sell cosmetics, and Jafra was not the only one. It was Avon, and it was also like Tupperware, and it was also shoes. So I remember my dad went through a period of time where he couldn't support her because he had a car accident because he was very drunk at the moment. So my mom came up with the idea with one of her best and closest friends that she wanted to be an entrepreneur, and one of the brands that her best friend was selling, it was Jafra, which is very similar to Mary Kay when it comes to the direct selling point. So I started helping her every single day. I remember I would enjoy all the time to go with her, and when we lived in Mexico, we of course enjoyed it, but definitely she would have enjoyed to have more of that experience over here, because in Mexico they don't pay you like, let's say I want to get and I just have it here with me. So I have a lip kit, and let's per se it's $200 in Mexico. You have to make it in payments because the minimum wage would not be able to, everybody would not be able to afford it to pay cash right away. Whereas over here in the States, you're able to pay right away, but you have other things to do. As you get paid in dollars, you also pay money in dollars. So that's something to really think about it, and it kind of like grew up on me to be responsible about the money and always make sure you gotta make sure you pay your dues, your bills on time. So my mom was diagnosed when I was like, I believe 7 or 9. I don't recall it. She had a cervical cancer, and she stopped doing business. So when I was 12 and she had recovered, I remember we were very short with money too. So I told my mom that if I was able to do some beauty or beauty related sales, I could do it. I asked her if she could sign up for me under her name, and she would be able to assist me with organizing and make sure the money was fine, and in order to make the more of the future orders, and how to do the investments, how to do restock, how to do inventory and all that good stuff. So she was never into the inventory for sure. I was always into the inventory. I always wanted to make sure I had the products right away. So after when I was 16 or 17, I failed high school because I couldn't do my full-time beauty related cosmetics independent beauty business, and at the same time going to the school. And also my mom, I always have a sister who has a mental disability, so she needed a lot of support, and she also needed me in her personal business. So it's a lot of responsibility all the time, and I couldn't focus on one thing. I always felt a little bit alone by myself. So I dealt with a lot of when it comes to the customers. I dealt with a lot of customers that have at least in Mexico, they had a lot of issues, kind of embracing me guys back in the day, selling beauty products, because they would tell me straight to my face when I was 14 or 15 years old, even 12. I remember I would sit with them, and they would wanted to buy me products like skincare related, moisturizers or lipstick. And I would sit with them, and they would be like, this is not right for you. You shouldn't be selling these products because this is not right for you. This is, this is, we label stuff, and you don't fit the market. So it was really hard for me to understand how come even though most of the times this beauty companies were created for people to become independent, mostly when it comes to women. And I've always been a huge supporter for women, because I have four sisters and I have a mom, and my mom raised us like she was by herself most of the time, because my dad was never really there for her, and really never there for me either. So it was really hard for me to understand why would people have such a closed mentality, and it would hurt me deep inside, because I would feel like, well, if you don't really buy stuff, well, why are you telling me this stuff? Like, I was not coming for, and I have nothing against that, and I just always save it for myself. But I would be like, why would you talk to me about your religion status or religion beliefs, when I'm just trying to make it up for me and try to save money, try to make home some money so I could buy, like, I don't know, food, pay my, you take the bus, you buy books. So it was really hard for me to understand all that stuff. It was really hard and inconvenient, and most of my colleagues in the school, they really had a hard time with me doing independent business. Most of them would make fun of me all the time. It was a very painful situation going on, and I remember it really took me a long time to recover, because even my friends, they would order stuff from me, and they would rarely pay to me, and it was such a loss. And I started having enough of this situation where I had to deal with it, like I was able to understand that not everybody was gonna be faithful or loyal or honest or supportive, even if they wanted to, because not everybody's like that, sadly. So after that, I don't think I engaged into any other beauty company until I was 27 years old. I was back with my partner, and he's a cosmetologist. He is an amazing. He is one of the most dedicated, if not per se the only one that I've seen to embrace his new path. He's an amazing, dedicated. I don't know. He is such an artsy person. Like, he's so determined. If he wants to do it, he will do it. If he wants to learn something, he will learn it for sure. And he makes sure he polish that when it comes to his beauty to his beauty entity. I don't know. I've never seen such a passionate person when it comes to his career, that I've always felt like, in a way, it was my duty to push him all the time, to make sure he's always better for his cosmetology career. So it wasn't until then that I realized that I wanted to do the Jafra business. And when I was younger, when I was a lot younger, when I was around 12 or 14, I was very successful in Mexico to do Jafra, but I never did it over here in the States. So that was kind of my deal going on, and I never thought that doing Jafra here, it would be so much different. Just like I said, you would buy something, and they would literally pay you the money for a moisturizer right away. And that was very exciting for me. I thought I could do it. But again, I had the same issues going on 90% of the time. And I've heard a lot of the times when women say, well, how come you had so many issues, you know, like you just keep going and you just keep staying positive. But what happens when you're really on the other side of this, the other person's feelings, and you feel like all this rejection going on most of the time, and when you're trying to make it live, when because like most of the times when I was 27 or 28, we were struggling because we would see all these women saying, "Oh my gosh, it was an amazing time. You know, we're going for the car with Jafra. We're going for this with Jafra, or with this beauty company." And you would be like, "Well, I don't know how she does it. You know, like it's really hard for you to understand sometimes um, because you're doing everything that you can, but you really aren't, and you realize that most of these women have husbands who support them with every single thing. Um, Not everybody's single. Not everybody's like me, that I was trying to make it for me, and I was trying to sell everything for me and make sure that, you know, if I invest $100, I make sure I take $20 for me for whatever I need to eat, or for the rent, or to pay the car. But then the $88 left will be $60 for investment again, and then whatever was left would be able to assist me with, you know, like driving and all this. So it's such a hot mess, and I brought in my partner with me into this kind of business, and we left horrified about how many stuff we encountered throughout our whole career when it comes to the independent business. It was horrible. Actually, last night we were talking about one of the times that one of the those ladies had a conversation on one-on-one that she felt like her beliefs didn't really meet my personal goals, so she felt like this beauty business was made for only women, and I was like, oh my gosh. So with the time, I ended up I started working more in other departments, and I felt like I was feeling left out in that kind of beauty community. And so I started applying for beauty companies like other kind of beauty companies like Lancome, Estee Lauder, Clinique, or Bare Minerals, or Sephora, or Ulta. And luckily, one of my very first jobs as a beauty in a beauty brand, or in a beauty store, it was in Ulta. So that was my very first time that I applied for one, and I remember I enjoyed it 100%. I cannot complain about it. It was such an amazing time that I had enjoyed it, and it wasn't with any brand in specific. It was just doing stocking. It was just doing cashing out people. It was just making sure everybody get like a freebie going on. It was just making sure everybody got really good quality client customer service, and I enjoyed it 100% to this day. So I left that job because I went ahead and I applied for last year. I applied for Lancome, and Lancome was an amazing experience. I have to say, when it comes to the training, they took me to New Jersey, which is very close to New York, and I met all these great people like Alicia, Alex, and all these ladies from Texas and Brooke, of course, Katie, and other gals that I met in Lancome. And it was such an amazing experience because these people were not close-minded. They were very open-minded. They would be talking about different brands that I have never heard before. And I spent 3 gorgeous days in New Jersey with these people who had never met before, who I had never spoken before, where we all had this kind of like a sisterhood, brotherhood kind of deal going on, because we were all very excited about what was Lancome about. And honestly, I had never really had makeup artistry course or trainee going on. So it was a very exciting thing for me to do. So for all that I have to say when it comes to my Lancome training, it was amazing. I loved it from 1 to 10. It was such a great time that I just fell in love with it. The trainer was amazing. I don't recall her name, but she had curly hair. That's all I remember, and she was really good. And then after that, when I went back to the counter, I realized that that was kind of a one time experience in my life, and the counter was completely different. The manager who I had and the state where I was situated, she was not only homophobic, she was also um, racist. But underneath the water, like when you have a brother and he kind of kicks you out under the table, and if you scream, your mom is gonna yell at you because you were making noises, but you didn't start it. That's how she would do it. Like she would find ways for me to get in trouble, and it was just horrible. So I decided to leave. I decided to leave because I also had a situation with my dad and one of the stores, and so I was called out the next day, and you know what? I left the job because it wasn't the best time for me. It wasn't the best position for me, and I felt like something better could come on my way. Then after that, I was able to recover for at least 3 to 4 months, and my partner Duamel was able to assist me with everything. Me and my dad, he would pay for everything, literally, uh, or at least 90% of it. And so after that, I reapplied for. I had been working to reapply for other companies, and in a way, I still wanted to get in the beauty community, or in the beauty department is going on, and because I wanted to polish like my makeup artist going on, like techniques, and learn more about the products and all this stuff, because it really comes within inside of you. Um, I hope I'm not bothering you, or I'm not bugging you, or I'm not boring you. So please, you guys, let me know if I'm. Let me know in the comments. Let me know with thumbs up how am I doing, if you guys are liking this video. So I reapplied for Estee Lauder, and I got a phone call one time from this department store. Um, and if you go to my Instagram, you're probably gonna be able to find out which one it is. And it was such an amazing time at the very beginning. My very first month, I was very surprised of how much commission I could get. I thought I was gonna get almost like minimum wage, but I didn't. I guess because I started on the gift with purchase going on, and so I started working for Clinique, and Clinique has been an amazing company that has been very supportive, very educational. They are always on trend, and they treat their employees the way they should be treating them, with respect and love, and always support. So I have to say that the difference between the companies that I have worked with before and the company that I work right now, it's an amazing company. I would not trade it in. It's been a great experience. It's been a very open-minded point of view. But when it comes to what you're gonna get, you have to make sure you grow thicker skin. Everywhere you go, when it comes to the beauty, I feel like when it comes to the beauty, even in the beauty industry, you can see it right now. Like a lot of the YouTubers that I follow with, like one of my favorite ones, it's called Stephanie Nicole, and she was located in San Francisco. Now she's located in Los Angeles, and so she's an amazing person. She's a very educated, always knows her product, always knows her ingredients, always makes sure she gives the best in her YouTube videos. And I feel like a lot of the times you can find a lot of jealousy when it comes to what you can provide to whatever job you're doing. And when it comes to the beauty industry, everything comes and runs so quickly. Like, just for instance, like you can tell that I like him a lot now. Before I didn't like Jeffree Star. Now I do. But you know how gossipy, how this kind of deals are going on around, like Manny MUA or Laura Lee or all this stuff. Like, like it just creates so much drama. And it just sometimes it just happens to be drama. So you just gotta stick with it and make sure you grow thicker skin, and make sure you bring out the best game in you. No matter where you are, no matter what brand you are on, no matter where you wanna be, you're always gonna find a little bit, either a small issue or a big issue, But you always gotta keep in mind that as long as you do your best and you stay honest within your whole work ethic, and you're always true to yourself, and you always make sure you share whatever you want to do, where you want to be with your superiors, like your managers and all that. As long as you, doesn't matter if there's like envy, jealousy, gossip and all that stuff around you. I know it's really hard, and I have to say that with all my heart struggling, because I have endured every single time since I've been a kid with so much drama going on because of the how people struggle with accepting a gay male, that it tends to be really hard. So I'll come back with another video in the future. Let me know if you like this kind of videos. I'll bring up more information about it, but I don't want to be like all about me all the time, you know. So I hope you guys like this video, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye bye.